Thank you for joining today's session. We will be getting started shortly. We do have a lot of folks signed up for today's session, and we want to give everyone a moment to log on and get connected so that we can dive into today's session. I do want to thank you all for joining us today. I am Jasmine Garrett here with the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Today's session is an informational overview on the Route 80 Business Assistance Grant Program. A quick housekeeping note, we do suspect that many questions will be answered in today's presentation. However, you are able to write in questions at any point during the presentation using Zoom's Q&A feature. It is one of your Zoom command options and will allow us to make sure we are able to get back to you and let others see these questions and answers as well. Today's session is being recorded and will be posted on our NJEDA and YouTube pages. The slides and other resources will also be available in the next few days. Now to get us started with the presentation, I will shift things over to NJEDA's Managing Director of Portfolio and Customer Relations, Patience Purdy. Patience?
Thank you, Jasmine. Good morning, everyone. So we did this in person last night at the Wharton Municipal Building. So hopefully all the kinks are out of it, and we are going to go through slide by slide and talk about the Route 80 Business Assistance Grant Program. I'm going to move slides here, but it just didn't work. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Now it worked. Okay, so this is an emergency relief grant program providing short-term financial support for small and medium Morris County, New Jersey businesses affected by the Route 80 closures. It's open to businesses who have 0 to 50, up to 50 full-time equivalent employees, and you must have a commercial business location in Morris County, New Jersey. And you must have suffered a negative financial impact as a result of the closures. The grants are from $1,000 up to $15,000, and they are based on your revenue loss and your number of full-time equivalent employees. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then you'll also be able to access a full-time equivalent employee calculator on our website. We'll be using the full-time equivalent employees as reported on your fourth quarter WR30s with the Department of Labor. If you are a sole proprietor and you don't have employees, that's fine. You don't report them. You're still eligible for the grant. You follow in that 0 to 5 headline there. So grants based on a business's negative financial impact and full-time equivalent employees. This slideshow will be on our website in PDF form. You should be able to click on this full-time, let me see if I can make that, full-time equivalent employee estimator on our website. And there will be a separate link for that in the FAQs and in the one-pager that's on the website. So if you've got questions about what constitutes a full-time equivalent employee, you'll just pull up your latest WR30, enter the information into there, and it'll tell you exactly how many you have. So 0 to 5 full-time equivalent employees is a $1,000 minimum up to a $5,000 maximum. 6 to 20 from $1,000 to $10,000, and 21 to 50 goes up to a $15,000 maximum. Your estimated revenue loss will be based on your 2024 annual revenue and your first quarter 2025 loss that you will need to certify to within the application. Grants received through this program can only be used for working capital expenses. So utilities, inventory, mortgage, lease, things like that. If you have a question about it, you can give us a call and we can give you more information. But I have a feeling, utilities, inventory, and mortgage or lease are probably going to cover it. Capital expenses like remediation and construction are not eligible uses of funding. More eligibility requirements. Businesses and nonprofits that meet the following eligibility requirements. Again, up to 50 full-time FTEs, sustained a negative financial impact that has to be $1,000 or more as a result of the sinkholes, a physical commercial location, and I can't emphasize this enough, a point of sale location. Your office must be accessible by people and you do business out of that office, not home-based. You must be registered in the state of New Jersey at the time of application, And here we say as evidenced by a valid business registration certificate if required. That's something you can go online and look up on your own. And there are links to that and how to do that in the FAQs. I do want to add that if you're not sure if you're registered or you have questions about your registration, business.nj.gov has a wonderful wizard to make sure you're registered. You can log in and create accounts on an account on the Premier Business Portal. They have a live chat feature, as does our website, and folks that are there 9 to 5 Monday through Friday to answer your calls with those questions. So the Business Action Center phone number is 1-800-JERSEY-7. Again, that's 1-800-JERSEY-7 or business.nj.gov. So if you've got questions about your registration, that's where you want to go. You cannot be on the exclusion list at sam.gov, and you have to be in good standing with relevant regulatory agencies, Department of Labor, Treasury, and Taxation. On that note, with these regulatory agencies, this application, if you applied to us during COVID, you'll notice that it's a similar type of application. However, if you've applied for some of our other programs, you may be thinking this is going to be tough. This is not going to be tough. This is emergency funding, and we have streamlined the application to make the application very easy for you. Whoever is the business owner should be there and filling out the application. We're going to ask you to certify to your negative financial impact. We're going to ask you specific questions about your business, but we are not going to ask you to upload any documents. So you're not going to get stuck on that, and you're not going to have to scramble around trying to find things to upload. So it really is a streamlined process in that function. So let's see, what's the next page? Ineligible businesses, landlords, home-based businesses, gambling, gaming, adult, auctions, transient merchants, thinking like hot dog vendors. The example I use all the time, that could be on this corner and then they could be on that corner another day. Christmas tree sales, constituting a nuisance or illegal purposes, and then cannabis licensed and or certified businesses are not eligible for this program. You must be able to answer yes. And we're going to ask this right on the application. Can you answer yes to all of these questions? Was your business in operation on December 1st, 2024? So you must have been in operation December 1st, 2024 in order to be eligible. Are you in Morris County? Must be in Morris County. That is where the state of emergency was declared. So on another slide, we're going to give you the opening dates for the grant, and we're going to give you the zip codes associated with those opening dates. Those are zip codes solely in Morris County. All right, so landlords, real estate holding companies, cannabis license certified, home-based businesses not eligible. Businesses who are declined will have the ability to appeal. So it's a pretty straightforward process. You're going to certify to all of the information that we ask you and that we ask you to provide, and you're going to hit submit. There are 3 possible routes for your application at the end of that. Everything goes through our process on the back end, and you get put into an approval. Something hits the trigger and says, wait a minute, I think we need to ask more questions about that. And you could end up in a manual review, which you'll be contacted by a member of our staff. You'll get an email. We'll say, can you explain this? Whatever it may be, you respond, we continue. Or you may be declined. Now, you may be declined because you are a home-based business. So even though you could answer yes, people go through the application quickly. We understand that, but you would get a declination. You could get declined or put into a review because you made a mistake, and that was inaccurate information. And if you are declined or in manual review, in both of those instances, you will have the opportunity to provide us, and we will ask you to provide us with additional information in order to completely review your application. Okay, The application will open and close on this schedule. It will open for Morris County, New Jersey businesses within a 5-mile radius of the exit 34 closure at 10 a.m. on April 22nd. That round of funding will close on April 28th at 5 p.m. The eligible zip codes for that round of funding are listed, and you'll see them up there. If you have any questions, you can call us, put it in the chat. I'm happy to answer questions at the end of the presentation. If funding remains available after we close the program for the 5-mile radius on the 28th, we will reopen the program on the 29th for the 10-mile radius, which also includes the 5-mile. So if a business neighbor of yours missed that first round opening and they're within the 5-mile, they can apply during the 10-mile as well. It includes all previously eligible zip codes as listed here on the slide. If funding is available, once that round closes on May 5th at 5 p.m., we will then open at 10 a.m. on May 6th for all Morris County businesses. And that application will close on May 9th at 5 p.m. The next thing we're going to get in here is probably the most complicated part of our application. The application should be a breeze. You know your business. Answer those questions, hit submit. In order to do that, you have to come here to the NJEDA Application Center and you have to create an account or sign in to a previously created account. If you applied during COVID, then for phase 3 or phase 4 of our COVID program, then you have an NJEDA Application Center account that you created. You may not remember it, and that's okay. If you're using the same email, fingers crossed, then we're going to walk you through in some upcoming slides on how to do that. The first thing you do is you'll see the green arrow is pointing up to the sign in the top right corner. So once you click sign in, you come to this page. And that's if you've got an account or you think you have an account. Either way, it's going to work. You're going to enter your username, you're going to enter your password, and then you're going to click sign in, which is located in the little blue button to the left of the forgot username password. If you forgot your username or your password, or both, you'll click on forgot username or password. It'll take you to slide 3. And after you click, we'll ask you for your email. Now, if you believe you've done this before, you're going to want to enter the email you used to sign up the first time. If you enter an email that isn't in our system, you're not going to get the next step, which is an email from us that tells you what your username is and gives you a link to reset your password. We'll give you a notification that says, please check your email. That notification is going to come up even if we don't have your email, because in the moment that you click it, our system doesn't know that yet. So on the bottom of this slide and everywhere on our website is our customer care phone number. Please call us if you have any trouble. Just pick up the phone and call. Before you get too far down a line or too frustrated, give us a call. And the folks working on our customer care line are going to help you, walk you through it. If you're not sure, you can call us and we can look you up in our system. And we're happy to do that for you, because getting into this part of it is what you need to do in order to be able to click on that grant application and give us your information. So this is very important, and it's very important that it's the right information. All right. So once you've clicked on that link, it's going to take you to the place where you can reset your password. It'll tell you it's been reset, and you'll click sign in. That will take you back to the main screen again, and you'll be good to go. Now, if you haven't registered before, if this is the first time that you're there, you're going to go to register, which you can see when that pop-up block is there, you'll click sign on. There's also register. You'll enter your email. You'll create a username. Your email can be your username, does not have to be. Please write it down. Please write down your username and password. You'll enter your password, you'll confirm your password, and you'll click register. Then you're going to come here. You're going to fill out your first name, last name. Your email will be pre-populated. Please look at that and make sure that that email is correct. If it is not, give us a call so we can help you. Phone number, your organization name, your title, those are, and your website, those are not required fields. We suggest you fill out at least the phone number. Once you're done with that, you're going to click update. You're going to get, and this is where I think folks find it, I don't know, cumbersome more than confusing. We're going to say your email needs confirmation. And this is a step that we are taking to make sure that we are not duplicating you in our system. We're going to click confirm email. You're going to get an email. You'll get a little pop-up box that says the email was sent. And then you're going to get an email from CRM, no reply. I know that's super fun. So you'll have to make sure you check your junk and spam. And then there's a link in there. You can click on the link that says complete registration, or you can copy and paste the link that is listed there into your browser. Speaking of browsers, Chrome and Edge, please use either Chrome or Edge. That's what we recommend. At any point, if you're having any kind of a glitch, if anything doesn't seem to be going right, call us. I will say that if you get this done between now and before next Tuesday, then you'll be in much better shape when that application goes live. If everyone is coming into the application portal at 10 a.m., please be patient. There may be a lag. There may be a lag between when you get the confirmation email. Give it a little bit of time. It should not be more than a minute or two. So if you're not getting it, our phone number is here. Call us. Just don't hesitate to call us because we can help you through this part of the process very easily. All right, so you're going to click complete registration, and that's going to take you back to the main page. You're done. You'll be able to click on the grant. Now, if when you filled out your registration, a pop-up box that comes up and it says, this email address is already in our system, that doesn't mean you already have an application center account. It means, hey, we recognize this email address. Maybe you had a small business loan with us at one point, or some other outreach or contact with us here at the NJEDA, and our system says your email is already there. That's great. That's no problem. You're going to click OK, and then you're going to click send invitation. We want to do that because, again, we don't want to duplicate you in our system and cause any confusion for when you're trying to register, when your grant is being processed, when we're emailing you information like, hey, you've been approved. We want that to go to the right place. If there are duplicative accounts, that can cause a little bit of a tumble. So click send invitation. You're going to get the email. Once you get the email, you're going to click on it. It's going to take you here, register, to the next page of register, and then you'll go back to step 2 on slide 7. Let's click real quick right here. Finish out the registration process, and then you're done and you can apply. Again, any issues with any of this during the signing up on our application portal, please call us. We're here Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. We are closed this Friday. We will be back open again on Monday, and happy to walk you through it. Now, we've got plenty of staff for that. However, if we're getting inundated with calls, please be patient. If you're on hold, just hang out on hold. Call back. If you're doing this between today and through next Monday, then you're in good shape because we're going to get you taken care of before the application launches. All right, what's next? Okay, so that's the end of us talking about our grant and how to apply. And what we'd like to do now is answer any of your questions.
Patience, we had a question in the chat, and I'm going to read it to you if that's okay. It says, the biggest impact began closer to the end of Q1. Q2 has felt a larger impact. Would there be another grant or opportunity to provide proof of loss using Q2, second quarter?
So this is the grant we have currently. I'm not aware and haven't been made aware of any future grants. I don't want to say those won't happen, but I can't say that they will. Thinking through what the loss is, as long as your loss was at least $1,000 during Q1, then you're going to be eligible for the grant. Q2 started when 2 weeks ago, right? So Q1 took us all the way through the end of March. And so, a good chunk of time. So whatever your loss was through the end of March, let us know what that was.
Thank you, Patience.
So we do have 3 attendees with their hands raised. So Gloria, if you would like to go ahead and.
Good morning. Yes. I was just wondering, how would the funds be distributed? And is there a follow-up next year for that we have to submit our taxes to prove the loss?
Okay, so the funds are just will be distributed through ACH, so they'll be directly deposited into your bank account. If you're approved, you'll get a grant agreement. You'll have to read through the grant agreement, agree to the grant agreement, provide your banking information. It's all done via DocuSign, so it's secure. And then we'll fund the money. There will likely be some level of post-approval compliance. We're pretty good at streamlining that as well. And so expect, potentially an email from us. That's usually done on a percentage basis, and it's sort of a random selection. I can't guarantee it would be done exactly the same way. But we're going to, potentially reach out and say, show us your total loss for 2025. We're asking you to self-certify it during the application. So if your loss is your loss, then you're in good shape. As far as taxes go, that you'll need to talk. We are not permitted at the EDA to provide any kind of tax guidance, even to the extent of, yes, this will be taxed. So talk to your CPA about that.
Colossal, if you have a question, you can go ahead.
I think, Colossal, you're still muted.
I'm asking to unmute, but I don't know if they're on, so we'll go ahead to the next question. Richard?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? So I do have a home-based business within the 5-mile radius. It's a staffing firm where I have, potential clients and candidates meet up with me. Sometimes a contractor or two will come over here and meet and discuss our business. Are all home-based businesses ineligible? Because I know it's affected me in having a lot of my meetings.
Sure. Yes. Home-based businesses are not eligible. So there's not an exception in there.
Okay. And is there any reason why? Because, yeah, I know it's like you said, a point of sale or an office. This is an office that I've used for many years to conduct business. So is there any reason why it's not just like a home-based business where I just sit here? I do have meetings. So why are they excluded?
I'm not sure the why is something that I can get into. They're not part of the eligible businesses for this round of funding.
Got you. And
I think
that
it's probably based on some estimated impact.
understood? Okay. Will that also exclude us from any SBA loans?
I I can't speak for SBA, but in just a couple of minutes, you're going to be able to ask him.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Peter?
Yes, hi.
Good
Are you
morning,
able to
Peter.
hear me?
Yeah.
Good morning. Okay. So as I was, my question was related to, you know, the impacts that really started to get worse after Route 80 westbound closed. I'm in Wharton, right at the Costco there, and that exit, you know, from the eastbound direction, the impact wasn't that bad. But now that Route 80 is completely shut down, you know, because of exit 34 there, the impact's been so great at that intersection because now, you know, it's just a traffic jam. You can't even turn into our strip center where our restaurant is. That impact really didn't happen until later in March. And, you know, prior to that, we were having a really good quarter. I mean, really good. So if I were to show you a quarterly report of my revenue, you know, I might not have a great loss because we were having such a great quarter, you know, the first couple months. And then all of a sudden it got cut down. So that was what my question was regarding, you know, Q2, where the greater impact would show. Like, what is your advice here? Like,
But
if we
we're
were having a
asking
good
you,
quarter,
what
and
was
then,
your negative impact, right?
Right.
What was your revenue loss?
so that's the thing. If I were to show you on a quarterly basis, I might not have one. I haven't looked yet. I might not have one on a quarterly basis because the
So
first
year
2
over
months.
year so year over year, your first quarter would be better, is what you're saying, than last year?
It was better up until about the last 2 weeks of March when that exit closed. So, you know, I'm falling into this position where, you know, my Q2 is going to be pretty terrible because that exit's not opening up until they're saying at the earliest May 4th. You know, assuming everything is now settled on the construction side. So the greatest impact I found for my location right there, you know, to the Costco, ShopRite, a lot of the businesses right there at that intersection of exit 34, their impact wasn't felt until the last 2 weeks of March. So if you happen to be one of those businesses that was doing, you know, really well and better than last year, the impact wouldn't have been felt until the last 2 weeks of March. So there's a high chance that some of us, including myself, would show we were doing okay, but now we don't fall into the category of having any loss on that first quarter sales report. If I were to show you quarter two, yeah, it's night and day. I'm down 40%.
Okay, so I think the thing to remember is that this particular grant, this program that is happening now, is going to look at the negative financial loss in your first quarter.
Yeah.
That's this program.
No, I get it. And it's black and white. I fully understand, but I'm just saying that
Yeah.
that exit is
Now,
kind of funky there.
that doesn't mean that there won't come additional supports. But what this one is for the first quarter of 2020.
That's fair. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Jen?
Hi.
Good
Hi.
morning.
Yes, we can hear you.
So I just like to ask you that how do I show the how the people show the loss of revenue for the first quarter? Do you need any kind of document?
No, we're not asking you to upload documents. We're asking you to tell us what your negative financial impact was.
So, but you said I do not have to submit any document when I fill in the application. But when do you need like the supplementary document like WR30 and stuff?
So that we won't need the WR30. We won't. So we are partners at the Department of Labor, Taxation and Treasury. We'll be pulling WR30 information, tax status information, things like that directly from them. So not something we can do on a regular basis, but due to the emergency, due to the state of emergency, we are able to work with our partners at Treasury and Taxation in order to pull that information from them directly.
Okay, so no upload on the
No
type.
uploading.
Okay,
If
thank
we
you.
have additional questions after you've submitted, we may ask you for information. But as you fill out the application, we're not asking you to upload anything.
Okay, one more thing. After signing on to the application center, what do I have to do to fill in the application?
So unfortunately, the application isn't completed yet, so I can't really show you. Let me see if I can, or if someone else can go to the live NJEDA application center and maybe share their screen. We'll be able to show you just what it looks like.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
You're welcome. Maybe if I just stop this, I can.
Virginia, I see you have your hand up.
Yes, Patience, I didn't know how to answer this one. Joe is asking if he can use a Mac to complete the application.
Yes, you can absolutely use a Mac. Just please use Chrome or Edge, which you can do in your Mac. I learned on my Mac.
Thanks, Patience. And one more question. Colossal is asking, could you please tell me again where to enter to send an invitation code? Can you just show that slide again?
Sure. Let's see. So sign up with an invitation code. So here we go. We'll go back. All right. So you're filling this out and you get a pop-up that says, we recognize your email. You're going to click OK here. Your email address is going to appear here. So you know that we're sending that the email that we're identifying is your email. You'll click OK here. And then this will pop up and it'll say, please click send invitation to email yourself an invitation code. And you'll click send invitation. Then you give it a couple of minutes and wait for it to come into your email, hit refresh, check your junk and spam. Once you get it, you'll click on the link within the email here. And then that will take you back and you'll see this, sign up with an invitation code, and you just click register. Takes you right back to the first registration page, and it'll show you that you're redeeming the code that we sent to you. Is everybody good? I'm gonna stop sharing for a minute, see if I can go on my computer to the application page. I want to show you just what that looks like.
Okay. Then we have one additional question for you.
Okay, give me just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see how to do this again. I'm gonna share. There it is. Share. Okay, so here is the actual online application center. Here are NJEDA programs. They're they're supposed to be alphabetical, and they're not here. We're going to make sure that the Route 80 is right at the top. My preference, if we can get it done, is that the Route 80 button will be right here. But if it's not, you click on NJEDA programs, and we're going to put Route 80 right here at the top. I know I can make that part happen. I don't know if I can get it on the very first page, but that is our application center. All right, now let me see. Do this and see if I can get this PowerPoint back up. There we go. Share. There it is. Okay. I'm happy to answer any more questions, and I want to make sure that we have time for our partners over and our friends over at the SBA. So
Yes. So we do have another question. It says, my nonprofit organization is currently facing a backlog of 600 applications for energy assistance, which has led to a loss of revenue. This backlog has developed because clients are unable to visit our office due to traffic caused by Route 80. To process these 600 applications, I need to pay my staff for overtime.
Okay, so if you have a physical commercial location in Morris County that fits within the zip codes, then apply for the grants.
Thank you. I've applied for other grants, not during COVID. I will not need to re-register as a user, correct?
If you have registered on our application portal previously, you should not need to re-register. What I would do is make sure that you go in and test that prior to application launch day.
And last question, our company provides landscape services and we are located in Worthing. Our revenue has been flat because we are contract-based, but our expenses have increased as far as wages for guides in traffic, fuel, etc. Would we still be able to apply?
If you have a physical commercial location I understand that your work is done elsewhere. If you have a physical commercial location in Morris County, apply during your zip code.
I think those are all the questions for now.
I'm sorry. I had another question. My hand was up, but I was never, I didn't get called in, so.
Oh, sorry, Gloria, what's your question?
Yes, so my employees are 1099 employees. They are full-time. I have some full-time employees on 1099. I'm a therapeutic office, which I've had multiple cancellations through this whole entire, I'm like right there off exit 30. Would 1099 employees count as full-time employees?
No, only WR30 employees are going to count for that full-time equivalent. I don't know how many employees you have, but you don't have to have employees to qualify. So if you don't have employees, that 0 to 5 level is where you would fall.
Okay.
If you don't have WR30 employees, I should say, I apologize.
Okay, and then on the day that we're going to be doing this application, if we run into issues, will we be able to reach out to your program and be able to get assistance? I know you're probably going to be bombarded that day.
We will likely be bombarded that day. It is a very easy application. Hopefully you don't run into any issues. It's really straightforward. It's currently in a testing stage, or I would have pictures of it to show you so that you can see it. We are going to ask you questions that should be easy for you to answer as the business owner. It's going to, I mean, if it takes you 10 minutes, that's going to be a long time. But yes, the customer care number that you see on the screen here, 844-965-1125, we will be there. We will be answering calls. If we are getting inundated with calls, you might be on hold for a little bit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, Richard, did you have another question as well, as your hand is still up?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
No, I should just lower my hand. So no, thanks a lot though.
You're welcome. Okay, I think if no more questions, right, Jasmine? All right, then we're going to turn this over to our friends at the SBA to talk to you about their disaster programs.
Tyshawn, you are on mute.
I'm so sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was saying first I want to thank the New Jersey Economic Department for having us here today, just so that we can push out these resources that we have, and we do want to, on behalf of SBA, I do want to express our deepest condolences for any businesses that's been affected by the sinkholes. Who would have thought something like this would happen? But we're here, and we are just an additional resource for you guys. We are offering our economic injury disaster loans, and those are loans that pretty much help with working capital losses. So I've heard a few examples throughout this meeting, but those are for maybe if shipment is not able to reach out to you guys because they can't make it throughout I-80, or you need help with with your payroll. It assists with different things like that, or maybe your consumers are not just able to meet your businesses because of the sinkholes is stopping them. You can use the funds for things like that. Our approval rate is pretty much based off of the your credit history, which is we take a look at your entire credit profile. So there is not a specific credit score or anything I can tell you that can prevent you from that. We just take an overall look at everything. And then repayment ability, we do have to make sure that you guys are able to repay the loans when that time comes. Right now, our businesses and small businesses have a 4% rate, and then nonprofit organizations at 3.625. These loans are up to $2 million. But if the business is considered a major source of employment, then you can get more. That amount can be increased, and that's just case by case basis. By the time you submit that application, most applicants hear something immediately or up to 2 to 3 weeks about from our processing center. Again, that is case to case basis. And we have, like I said, we have some of the lowest interest rates. You don't right now. There's no repayment for up to 12 months. And certainly so many more benefits for taking our loans. And I'm here if you guys have any questions about anything that I can break down any further. We also have a business recovery center right in Wharton. The address to that is, one second, I want to make sure I'm giving you that right address. Is at the Wharton Municipal Building, which is just 10 Robert Street. You guys can come in there at any time. Likely you will see me there, but we also have customer service reps that are right there in the center, so you can get immediate help. So come out and see us so we can help you guys out. Again, we're just here to help you guys. Like we say, these loans are strictly to help businesses stay in business. So thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. We do have one question. It says business credit history or personal credit?
Business credit.
Richard, I see you have your hand up.
Yes, sir. Now, are home-based businesses eligible for these loans?
They are. They are because it's the EIDL. So you would be able to use, you would be able to fill that application out for that business as well.
Okay, and you said there are no payments due for the first year.
Yes, for
What
the
is the
first 12 months, there's no,
percentage?
I'm sorry.
What is the percentage rate on the interest rate on the loan after the first year?
It's still 4%.
4%?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
I have a question, Richard.
Go ahead, Gloria.
Is there a restriction on how you're gonna use those funds once you get approved for the loan?
For the SBA, yes, so it's for working capital law. So as I stated, it could be used for like payroll. It can be used to help your businesses right now if like you can't get shipment in, so that's causing you to lose revenue. If you see a customer decline because they can't reach it to your business, you can use it for things like that. These loans cannot be used for physical damage though, because this is it's only for economics. So it has to be something that's actually, like I said, like your payroll or something of that sort.
So typically utilities are included there, rent and mortgage,
Yeah,
right,
all of those.
Taishan? Those would be
Yeah.
considered working capital.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
We have a question. What is the term of the loan?
So that actually depends. Again, that's case by case. We can do it actually, like we can actually look at, if you wanted to submit your application, we can give you all of that information if you wanted to go on our website, which is sba.gov/disaster. You can find out more information about that. You can also, like I said, come to our business recovery center at the Wharton Municipal Building. Or you can reach out to our customer service number, and that is 1-800. I always get these numbers confused. One second, I want to make sure I'm providing you with that correct number. Is 1-800-659-2955.
And I think I'll note that Assemblywoman Dunn was at the location last night when we presented and thought it was not a bad idea for anyone who might be interested in an SBA loan to apply.
Yes.
to apply does not mean you have to accept it. And I believe her reason for noting that was that it would show the level of economic injury that the area is facing.
Right. If the assistance, I mean, if it's not looking like that you guys need our assistance, then they pull us. So we do recommend that you do, if you, I mean, you just go ahead and just try, like she said, you do not have to take the loan. There's no penalties for that. If you get approved, you can take it. If you don't want to take it, you don't have to.
All right. Can you use it for purchasing inventory?
Can you repeat that?
Can you use it for purchasing inventory?
Inventory, as long as it's, yes, you can actually use it to purchase inventory as long as it's for your business. It all has to run back. I mean, it all has to show back that it's something that was to sustain your business.
Thank you. We have one additional question. When does the application open?
Our application is actually open right now, and it does not close until January of next year. But that's always subject to change. You know how that is.
Richard, I see you have your hand up.
Yes. Where is this particular application located exactly?
So as I stated, you can go to our website, which is sba.gov/disaster/disaster. You can definitely come into our business recovery center and sit down with the actual customer service rep to get the application filled out, or you can give us a call at our 1-800 number, which is 1-800-659-2955.
659-2955.
Yes, sir.
And the locations for the SBA in Morris County, is there a location?
Yes. That's the Wharton building, Wharton
Wharton
Municipal Building.
Municipal Building?
Yeah.
Okay, the
If you,
Wharton
yes,
Municipal Building. Okay.
yes. And we're there from 8 to 5.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.
How do we look, Jasmine?
Looking good. We have no additional questions in the chat or the Q&A, excuse me. No-
Well, thanks to everyone who joined us, who might still be there. Please go online and get registered in our application portal before the application opens right here, programs.njeda.com. Call us 844-965-1125 if you run into any issues or if you just have any questions. Thank you for joining, and we look forward to trying to help you out.